Good afternoon to you. Today we will continue with the economy. In the last class, we have seen the Reserve Bank of India and Monetary Policy Committee. You know, the main job of policy committee, that is Monetary Policy Committee, is to control inflation and also fix the repo rate, which is otherwise called policy rate. Only this rate is fixed and reverse repo rate. And marginal standing facility and the bank rate are linked with the policy rate. So the monetary policy committee will target the inflation and fix the policy rate. This is the main job. And I also told you the composition of monetary policy committee and what are the safeguards about effective functioning also I have explained. So the main role of monetary policy committee is to control inflation, and if the inflation goes beyond 6% or less than 2%, RBI is accountable to the government for not targeting the inflation. The MPC should meet at least 4 times in a year. However, in practice, it meets once in 2 months. The resolution adopted by the policy committee, monetary policy committee, should be published immediately after the meeting. In addition, the committee should submit a report every 6 months explaining their source of information, forecast for ensuing 6 to 18 months. In the report, RBI should explain why the inflation target was not achieved, etc. Now, I have also told you the Urjit Patel committee was the source. It was, though many committees have recommended, monetary policy committee can be tracked to 2002. In fact, OUV Reddy committee also recommended. In 2006, Tarapur committee also recommended. And 2009, Rangarajan committee has also recommended. And finally, in 2013, Urjit Patel committee also recommended. And finally, it has been set up. Now, in addition to monetary policy committee, what are the other main functions of RBI? That we should know from the examination point of view. The main functions of RBI are, number one, regulation of banking system. That is the primary job. Regulation of banking system. And remember, RBI is a member of IMF. The RBI represents India in International Monetary Fund. And it is the regulator of monetary policy, which we have seen through Monetary Policy Committee. And issuer of currency. And it is a banker's bank. All banks go to the RBI only for taking loan or keeping the money, keeping the reserve, etc. We are going to bank only. When like we are going to the bank is going to the RBI. It is a bank to the central government and state governments. It regulates the banking system as a lender of the last resort. When it is regulating the banking system, all good and bad, it falls on it. So it is the lender of the last resort. If no bank has got money, it has to go to the RBI only. And it regulates the what is called price stability. It maintains inflation targeting. It helps economic growth. And it is a custodian of foreign exchange. Most important job. As of now, remember, we have more than $500 billion in our reserve. As of June 20th, what is known as 5th June 2020, we have $500 billion. That is highest, ever highest. Compare this with the 91 stock. We had only $5.8 billion. In 1991, our foreign reserve was only $5.8 billion. Today, we have more than $500 billion. Remember. And the preamble of the RBI states the regulation of foreign exchange asset. Very important job. This foreign exchange asset, as I just now told you, $500 billion. What is the composition? What it consists of? Foreign asset, $463 billion. That is foreign exchange asset. Then gold, $32 billion. And special drawing rights of IMF, $1.5 billion. This is the composition of the $500 billion total. And in addition to this, most importantly, issue of banknote is also another job. Keeping the reserve money so that money is supplied, adequate supply is maintained. Operating the currency and credit system to lay modern monetary policy to cope up with the complex economy. And in addition to these points, you should keep in mind there is a minimum reserve system based on which the currency notes are printed by the RBI. Even though it is not strictly followed now, it is still there. The minimum reserve system. It is maintained by RBI. Minimum reserve system to be kept by RBI is 200 crores, of which 115 crores, 115 crores, should be in the form of gold and 85 crores in the form of foreign exchange. That is dollar, pounds, euro, yen and yuan. RBI issues currency notes on the basis of minimum reserve system. The minimum reserve system was adopted by RBI in which year? In 1956. So, this is all about Reserve Bank of India. Now we have now to recapitulate, we have seen monetary policy, instruments of monetary policy and quantitative and qualitative. Quantitative we have completely seen repo rate, what is CRR, SLR, refinance facilities, repo rate, reserve repo rate, bank rate, MSF, MSS, everything we have seen. And qualitative instrument also we have seen, credit rationing, credit control, moral suasion, etc. Then we have seen the origin of banking, how the banking has started, what is the first bank, how the RBI came into being, what are the functions of RBI, what is the important development in 2015, the MOU, the agreement between the central government and the RBI, how it curtailed the autonomy of RBI, who recommended the monetary policy committee, what is the functions of monetary policy committee, what are the general functions of monetary policy committee, what is the central board of directors. All these things we have seen. Now we are coming to money market. After saying the monetary policy, now we are coming to the money market. What do you mean by money market? See, first let us know about the financial market. What is financial market? We have got the furniture market, we have got the flower market, we have got the vegetable market, where the vegetables are purchased, where the vegetables are sold, where the vegetables are purchased, where the flowers are sold and where the flowers are purchased, where the furnitures are kept and shown to others and we are purchasing the furniture. So, where there is a lending and borrowing, that is called financial market. Very simple definition. Where there is a borrowers, where there are lenders, they meet together and lending and borrowing takes place in this market, which is called financial market. Now, financial market is of two types. One is money market and the other is capital market. Money market is for short term. What do you mean by short term? Less than 1 year. That is 364 days. Now don't say 365 days, because suppose you take a loan 365 days, then you can encash it only on 366th day. That means it becomes more than 1 year. So it comes to capital market. So it is less than 1 year, 364 days money market. Who controls the money market? RBI. Then what is the capital market? Capital market deals with long-term loans and borrowing, lending and borrowing in long term. What do you mean by long term? It should be more than 1 year. It can be either 9 years, Kisan Vikas Patra for 9 years, 10 years, NSC. All these things are called long term. Who controls this? SEBI. What is SEBI? Securities Exchange Board of India. So, one is regulated by RBI, money market, short term, less than 1 year, and the other is monitored, controlled by SEBI, long term and more than 1 year, and it is controlled by SEBI. So, this is called SEBI and RBI, money market and capital market. Now, today we will take up money market. The money market is, remember, it is primarily for industrialists, corporates, central government, and state government, banks, etc. It is not meant for common people like you and I. It is first point you should remember is, it is meant for industrialists, banks, central government, state government, etc. That is big people. It is not meant for common people. First point, please note. Secondly, in money market, we deal with call money, notice money, term money, certificate of deposit, commercial paper, commercial bill, treasury bill, cash management bill. We have seen 7 or 8 items are there. All these things we will try to complete now. Number 1. First is call money. Any fund lent or borrowed for 1 day is called call money. Any fund which is lent or borrowed for 1 day is called call money. You know, it is interbank transactions. I will give an example. Suppose you are IOB manager in a small village or whatever place, and there is also a State Bank of India. You know, you have to maintain CRR 4% or depending upon the 3.75% of the total NDTL, you have to maintain CRR. At the 3 o'clock when you see there, you don't have money, you don't have CRR. If you do not maintain the CRR, RBI will impose you penalty. You have to put the money in the RBI current account by 3 o'clock. And you collect information of all your banks by 3 o'clock. What is the total NDTL, or this NDTL 4% or 3.5% will be deposited in the current account of RBI. If you do not deposit the CRR, then you will be given penalty. So what you will do? You have no more time to go to repo. Repo they will not. You have to surrender the what is known as security, etc. Then no doubt there is a repo, there is a bank rate, there is MSF. But for CRR, suddenly you require immediate. So you ask your colleague, your counterpart in Punjab National Bank or State Bank of India, which is located in the same place, give me about 20 crores. So that is why call money. So call money is the fund lent or borrowed for 1 day is called call money. This is interbank transaction. I give an example. Supposing Indian Overseas Bank in your town has excess fund and State Bank of India has require money for one day. So the SBI borrows the money from IOB for one day. This is called call money. The commercial banks have to maintain the minimum cash balance, what is known as cash reserve ratio. To cope up with such contingencies, the call money is kept. Now, what is the interest rate for call money? It is highly volatile. It may differ from every day, it will differ. Sometimes it may differ hour to hour. So, it is the interest rate imposed is called call rate. It is called call rate. So, normally it is any time it may change. It is not the repo rate. There is no connection with the repo rate. I mean, repo rate may influence, but the rate is totally different. That is the point you should remember, very important. So, this is number one, call money. Then what is notice money? The notice money is if the fund is required for a period more than one day but less than 15 days, it is called notice money. So, more than one day, less than 15 days is called notice money. If the period is 15 days and more but less than 364 days, it is called term money. The interest rates for call money, notice money and term money are same. Same in the sense decided by the demand and borrowing. Demand and supply principle. So, how much demand is there? The rate will differ. It is one day rate or 15 days rate or 364 days. So, accordingly, the call money and notice money and term money interest rates are decided. So, you should have understood now what is call money, what is notice money, what is term money. Now, we are coming to the fourth one, what is known as certificate of deposit. Each word is important because you will get definitely a question from banking and it is a new item. What is certificate of deposit? First thing, it was introduced in 1989. Number one. Under this, banks can take loan from another bank or financial institution or corporates or other companies and even NBFCs, non-banking financial companies like Muthoot Finance, etc. Minimum amount 1 lakh. Minimum amount 1 lakh or multiples of 1 lakh. What is the minimum? 1 lakh or multiples of 1 lakh. There is no maximum. Understand? There is no maximum. Minimum 1 lakh, maximum no maximum at all. What is the period of tenure? What is the tenure? Minimum 7 days, maximum 364 days. 7, 364 days. However, one snag is there. One point you should remember, that is, if the certificate of deposit is issued by a financial institution other than the banks, then the tenor is 1 year minimum and maximum 3 years. For the banks, it is 364 days maximum, 7 days minimum, maximum 364 days. But if in the case of financial institutions which are issued other than the banks, the minimum period is 1 year and maximum is 3 years. Another point important. This is a negotiable instrument. Most important, this is a negotiable instrument. So, naturally, it can be transferred. CD can be issued to a non-resident Indian and it is repatriable. He can take the money to foreign country. For calculating CRR, CDs are not included. This is certificate of deposit is not included for calculating the CRR. Why? Because it is not a government security. So, regional rural banks and local area banks, cooperative banks cannot issue certificate of deposit. Two banks, remember which banks cannot issue? Regional rural banks and local area banks cannot issue CDs. NRIs can subscribe to CDs. NRI can subscribe to certificate of deposit. A CD issued to NRI cannot be endorsed to another NRI in secondary market because this is not a capital market. So secondary market comes into the picture only in the case of capital market. This is a money market. There is no role for capital market, and the banks cannot give loan against a CD. Whether on the basis of CD you can get the loan from the bank? No, it is not possible. Most importantly, CD issued on discount, zero coupon. All money market instruments are zero coupon. Remember, right from the treasury bills or commercial bill or commercial paper, everything is zero coupon. And that is discount rate. What do you mean by discount rate? Suppose it is 100 rupees. It is 5% is the interest. So you have to pay only 95 rupees. The face value is 100, but you have to pay only 95. It will be redeemed at 95 rupees, 100 rupees at the end of the tenure. So that is called zero coupon. What is zero coupon? It is redeemed at the face value but issued at a discount. That discount is called, so let us say, interest rate. We don't have the interest rate because there are plenty of the instruments. So you cannot calculate the interest rate at the time of discharge. So whatever interest is there, they give in the form of coupon. Suppose you invest 100 crores, they will issue a coupon every year this much. Say 10 lakhs coupon will be given every year, and you encash the 10 lakhs. So it will be that is treated as an interest. It will be it will be redeemed at the face value. That is called what is known as the zero coupon bonds. This is available for all money market instruments. So we will end the class now. We will continue with the class subsequently. Thank you.